Everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today, so today, in this part of video series, we are going to explore about the AWS topic of security and foundations. So let's get started. So in this section of AWS Cloud Practitioner course, particularly in this module, we are going to explore the essential security concepts that every AWS professional must understand when you're using AWS. So these principles form the backbone of AWS's secure cloud environment. So without any delay, let's get started. So moving on to our next slide. Now let's talk about the shared responsibility model. So on this slide, we see the shared responsibility model, which divides security responsibilities between AWS and the customer. So AWS is responsible for the security of the cloud. Basically, this includes protecting the physical infrastructure, networking, and also the foundational services such as compute and storage. So the customer, on the other hand, is responsible for security in the cloud. So meaning managing the access controls, encryption, and the configuration of their own resources. So this model ensures that AWS maintains a secure global infrastructure while you retain control over your applications and data. Okay, now let's move on to our next slide. So let's talk about the compliance programs. So in AWS, it aligns with international standards such as ISO 27001, SOC 1, SOC 2, and PCI DSS, as well as regional frameworks like GDPR and FedRAMP. So these certifications demonstrate that AWS maintains the highest levels of operational and regulatory security. So for customers, this means you can build and deploy compliance solutions more easily, leveraging the AWS's audited controls and infrastructure. So that's pretty much about the compliance programs. So now let's move to our next slide. So on this slide, we introduce AWS Artifact. So this is basically your on-demand access portal for compliance reports and agreements. So through AWS Artifact, you can download AWS certification reports and view service-specific compliance documentation. So it's especially useful for your auditors or compliance officers who need proof of AWS's adherence to standards when preparing their own compliance evidence. So this AWS Artifact is also available through the AWS's console home. So if you'd like to just go ahead and check this out, you can check it out from your AWS console home. So that's all pretty much about the AWS Artifact. Now let's move on to our further next topic, which is AWS Shield and WAF. So in this slide, we're going to examine the AWS's Shield and Web Application Firewall, or WAF. So AWS Shield basically provides automatic protection against distributed denial of service attacks, the DDoS attacks, at both network and application levels. So the standard version is included by default for all AWS customers, while the advanced additional protection and 24 by 7 support, uh, the AWS WAF, meanwhile, basically acts as a customizable firewall for web applications. It allows you to block or allow or even monitor requests based on the IP address, headers, or even query patterns. So when it's integrated with CloudFront or application load balancers, these services protect against the common threats such as you might know, SQL injection and cross-site scripting. Yeah, so well, that's all about AWS Shield and WAF. Now let's move on to our final slide and the summary of this part of my video series. So to summarize in this section, we've basically uh, talked about the AWS security, which is built on automation, scalability, and collaboration. So, which is by understanding the shared responsibility model, maintaining compliance, and using AWS's native security tools, uh, so that the organization that use AWS can create a robust and a resilient cloud environment using the security services provided and also by following the compliance and the standards. So that's all for now in this part of my video series of the security and compliance. Uh, Stay tuned and thanks for watching this one, and I will see you in the next one.